Jai Sri Guru Gauranga Gadadhar Hari Sri Radha Bihari Jai Nitya Lila Krishna Om Vishnu Bhare Stora Saraswati Simad Rupanugacharya Shila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj Jai Param Puja Param Vishnu Bhare Stora Saraswati Simad Bhakti Bodhayan Goswami Maharaj Jai Lila Krishna Om Vishnu Bhare Stora Saraswati Simad Gaura Govinda Goswami Maharaj Jai Lila Krishna Om Vishnu Bhare Stora Saraswati Simad Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Jai Lila Krishna Om Vishnu Bhare Stora Saraswati Simad Bhakti Pragyan Kesha Goswami Maharaj Jai Jai Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Mahabhagat Pravashi Gokshodas Pavni Maharaj Jai Saptam Goswami Sajan Thakur Bhakti Nod Ki Jai Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannathas Bhavya Maharaj Ki Jai Sri Rupanuga Gauri Guru Bhaga Ki Jai Shri Gauri Vedanta Chara Sarvadari Vushupu Ki Jai Shila Vishna Chakripat Ki Jai Shila Nartam Srinivas Shamananda Prabhu Traya Ki Jai Shila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami Pad Ki Jai Jai Shri Rup Sanatana Bhattara Gunata Shri Jiv Gopal Bhatta Das Raghunath Sadheswanpu Ki Jai Namacharya Sura Hardas Thakur Ki Jai Namadasu Roy Ramananda Rishi Gaur Prem se Ghosh Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai Shri Braja Mandala Ki Jai Shri Kirtan Mandala Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai Shri Navadvip Mayapur Dham Ki Jai Shri Radha Govinda Gopinath Madan Mohan Ju Ki Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Bhuvana Mangalkari Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai Ananta Kodi Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Samagata Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Hare Rasa Sri Vrishabhanu Nandini Srimati Radharani Ki Jai Jai Gaur Premanand Hari 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 Bo Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Sura Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Saganaram Tambitam Tam Sajivam Sadvitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Saganalita Shri Vishakanvitam Sya Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnanadyasakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhuvevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Krishna Hey Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Bosute Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Jayatam Suratorpango Mahamandra Mategati Manasana Savanam Bhulyo Radhamananam Srimad Ratnagara Sinhasanasto Sri Sri Radha Srila Govinda Devo Prastalidi Sevyamanuspram Sriman Rasa Sarambi Vakshibata Tatasita Karshan Venu Svanamo Panchatattvakam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhakavataram Bhaktavyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Srī Krishna Caitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Kripa bindu diya karo ehi dasi Krinapeksha ati hina Gurudev kripa bindu diya karo ehi dasi Krinapeksha ati hina Jagata Srī Caitanya Prabhu Daya Koro More.
And the yellow book 200. And this book 200. Oh wait. Doya Koramor. Oh, 96. Sorry about that. That was the one before. 96. This book.
Yeah, I got you. 96.
Bless you.
Paritpavana Parmadaya Premadatta Padmavati Kumar Srī Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. Prema Purushottama Satyanandan Srī Caitanya Mahāprabhu ki jai. Nitai Gaura Sitanatha Premanande. Srī Krishna Caitanya Prabhu Daya Karo Mahāprabhu Srī Krishna Caitanya Prabhu Daya Karo Mahāprabhu Srī Krishna Caitanya Prabhu Daya Karo Bye.
Hari Hari Bol.
So by the mercy of Gurudev and Sri Gauranitai, now we remember the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna.
Jai.
Radha Kunda Tata Kunjakuti.
Page 218. Yeah.
Vrindavan Lal ki jai, Varsanwar ki jai, Pushpam Rajkumari Ju ki jai, Jai Jai Sri Radhe. Radha Kunda Tata Kunjakutila Govardhanupavata Yamunatira Radha Kunda Lal ki jai. Srī Caitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra Gadadhara Shiva Sari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Srī Caitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra Gadadhara Shiva Sari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Srī Caitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra Gadadhara Shiva Sari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Srī Caitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra Gadadhara Shiva Sari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Chaitanya Nityananda nahi ei sava vichar naam loile prem dena bhaya suda. In the chanting of the names of Gaur Nitai, there is no consideration of aparadha. Bahujanmi jari kori Shavna Kirtan Tagunan Pai Krishna Paripremada. Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
So rolling in the dust of the lotus feet of Shri Gaur Nitai, they are here giving darshan to everyone. Now we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Where is Sashi? Fighting someone.
Shashi.
And where is Rishi?
Rishi.
Nama Shrishtam Manamapi Ashachiputram Atra Surupam Rupam Tasagrajamuri Purim Maturim Gosvatim Radha Kunda Magirivaram Ahorarika Marvasam Prapto Yasya Pratita Kripaya Sri Gurum Tam Natosmi Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namah Anandalilamaya Vigrahaya Hema Padvyatstave Sundaraya Tasmai Mahaprema Rasapradaya Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Bhaktya Bina Aparana Lakshe Chittasta Kahamaritorangamati Kripa Maikam Saranam Brahmanam Vrinde Namaste Charanarvindam Vrinde Namaste Charanarvindam Govinda Namo Ramaraveti Govinda Namo Ramaraveti Govinda Namo Ramaraveti Govinda Namo Ramaraveti. Everyone. Hey Krishna, Hey Radha, Hey Saketi, Govinda Namo Ramaraveti. Sham Sundar Shikanda Shikar Smaraha Sumurali Manohara Radhikar Sukumama Kripa Nidhi Supriya Charana Kinkurim Kuru Tavaivasmi Najivami Tvaya Vina Iti Vikyaya Devi Tam Nayamam Charanantikam. First of all, I offer my Sastang Dhanyavat Puspanjali. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Oh, with that, yeah. So first of all, I offer my Sastang Dhanyavat Puspanjali, my heart like flowers, thousands of times at the lotus feet of my holy master, my supremely worshipable spiritual Gurudev, Asmadriya Paramaradatam Guru Pada Padma, and Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnu Pad, Ashtotara Satasisimat, Rupanugacharya Varya, Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. Secondly, I offer my pranam thousands of times at the lotus feet of my Param Gurudev, to Srila Prabhupada and all of our Sri Rupanuga Gaudiya Guru Parampara.
Jai.
And finally, I offer my pranam to all the assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis.
Guru Desa Kripa Sene Vacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
So, today is very auspicious. All the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis have gathered together to celebrate the birthday of our Balaram Prabhu. So the Vaishnavas are the greatest treasure of our life. Where would we be without the association of Vaishnavas? So I want to thank him and Rati Manjari and the whole family for very kindly hosting me here during my brief visit to New York. And also I am very grateful to all of you. I know you are very busy and maybe you have better things to do than to come and spend some time with me. So I am very grateful that you come and that you all give me your darshan. This is why I came to New York, to have darshan of the Vaishnavas and purify myself. So today we want to speak about our most beloved Srī Sachinandan Gaur Hari.
Jai.
Gauranga nohito tabiki hoite kemani daritam de. If Srī Caitanya Mahāprabhu had not appeared in this world in Kali Yuga, then where would we be? What would we understand about spiritual life? Kali Yuge Sadhu Paiva Duskara Janiya Sadhu Guru Rupe Krishna Ashila Nadiya. In this age of Kali, it's very difficult to find a real sadhu, an actual transcendentalist, an associate of God. One who, sadhu means sadbhave, sadhubhave, who has a sambandha, has a relationship with the sadhavastu, with the eternal reality of Sri Krishna in Goloka Vrindavan. It's called a sadhu. So such persons, they are very rare. How can we recognize them? So, Kali Yuga, Sarupaiva Doskarajaniya, it's very difficult to know who is a sadhu in this Kali Yuga. Therefore, Sadhu Guru Rupe Krishna Asila Nadiya, Krishna himself, from Goloka Vrindavan, he appeared in Nadia Navadvip Dham, playing the role of a devotee to show us this path of bhakti. Apani karimu bhakt bhavayangi kare, apani achari bhakti shikamu sabare. See, Krishna thought, I will descend to this world in the mood of a devotee, and I will show everyone how to traverse this path of pure bhakti by my own example. Apanina kaila dharma sikanana yoy, eito siddhanta gita bhagavata gai. Unless one teaches by his own example, then his words will not be effective. If someone is only the Paropadesh Pandit, very learned at giving instructions to others, but not following themselves, then their words, they are not effective. They cannot change anyone. They're like having a gun with the blank bullets. They make a noise, but no effect. So, Gora Rami, Gora Ame, Muki Bolili Nahi Chali, Gora Achar, Gora Vichar, Laili Fale Fale. Sri Jagannananda Pandit said, there are many persons who say, I am a follower of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I belong to Gaura, to Gauranga Mahaprabhu. By their mouth they say, but they don't follow him. Only when we follow Gaura Achar and Gaura Vichar, then the fruit comes. So Gaura Achar means his lifestyle, his behavior. And Gaura Vichar means his deep philosophical deliberations on Siddhanta, meaning of Shastra. So two things in our life we have to follow Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Achar and Vichar. So, Srī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, he taught, even though there are many different practices of bhakti, many different ways to perform bhakti yoga, but 5 are extremely, inconceivably powerful. Sadhu Sangha, Nama Kirtan, Bhagavat Sravan, Mathura Vasa Srimotira, Sadhya Sevan. These 5, associating with sadhus, chanting Sri Harinam Sankirtan, the holy names, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, residing in the holy place like Brajmandal, Jagannath Puri Dham, Navadip Dham, and serving Vigraha, the deity of Krishna, with faith. So Rupa Goswami, he said, Daruat Bhuta Viryaismin, Sradha Durais to Panchake, Yatra Sopopi Sambandha Sadhyam Bhava Janmane. That the power of these 5 practices of bhakti is so immense, it is so inconceivable. Even the scriptures themselves, they cannot express how powerful these angas of bhakti are. They are beyond the limitation of human intelligence. They are so powerful that Sraddha Durais to Panchake, even a person has not developed a very strong, firm faith yet. Their firm faith is far away. Sraddha Durais to Panchake. But Yatra Swalpopi Sambandha, by a little contact, by a slight contact with any of these 5 angas of bhakti, then Sadhyam Bhav Janmane, Bhav. It will appear in the heart. Bhav means ecstatic emotional relationship with Krishna. It will come just like that. Someone may say, but wait a minute, you have to go through all these stages. Ado Sraddha Sadhu Sangha Bhajana Kriya Natana Vritti Nishtarucha Saki Bhav. But Mahaprabhu taught, no. Satyam Bhava Janmane, by a slight contact with these 5, then Bhav Janmane, the ecstatic love for Krishna will come straight away. But there's some small print condition. There's a condition, Sadhyam. Sadhyam means that one should not be critical. This is a big problem, because in the material world, the opposite of love is envy. The spiritual world is full of love, material world is full of envy. So due to envy, we engage in criticizing others. This is a problem. So those who are critical and hypocritical, they cannot be called saddhi, smooth-hearted. And therefore, even though bhakti is excessively, extremely, inconceivably powerful to bestow love for Krishna, but we don't feel the effect. This is tragic. This is a real tragedy. Romeo and Juliet is not tragic. Sinking of the Titanic, it is not tragic. Tragic thing is that bhakti is so powerful, it can give love in a moment, but we're not getting it. Why? A critical mind. So Srī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, he said, very important, how to overcome this. Trinadapi sunichena, tarorapi sesuna, amanena manadena, kirtanya sadari. One should consider oneself to be more utterly worthless than dry straw. Tolerate everything without complaining. Even when you yourself are suffering, like a tree in the heat, burning in the heat, but giving shade to others. Don't worry about your own misery. Try to help others, like a tree. being very generous. Tree gives anyone goes to a tree, they ask for anything, they can take anything the tree is giving without holding back anything. And the manadena, be without any pride, don't demand respect from others and give respect to others. And then, when we're properly respecting others, Jive Saman Dive Jani Krishna Adhisthana, knowing that Krishna is in the heart of everyone, then we can give up this critical tendency. So, Rupa Goswami said, Susrusrayo bhajana vigyamananyamanya nindadi sundar hidam ipsita sangalabhya. If someone is chanting Hare Krishna, from our heart we respect them. But if someone has diksha in the real sense of the word, they have initiation from a sadguru, and they have some realization of the deity of their mantra, then we should not only respect them from the heart, but we should physically bow down and give pranam. But susrustarayog bhajana vigyamananyamanya nindadi shunyaridam ipsista sangalabhya, if there's a devotee who's bhajan vigya, they have realization of Radha Krishna's service internally. How can you tell if they have that or not? Nindadi shunyam, rhythm. That person's heart is completely free from any propensity to criticize another person. Anyone. They don't criticize the good, they don't criticize the bad also. Nothing at all. Because all the qualities of this world, we see in a person what is good and what is bad. The good qualities are from Sattva-gun, and the bad qualities are from Rajagun and Tamagun. So if your mind is absorbed in thinking someone's good qualities and bad qualities, your mind is absorbed in Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Daiviyasha gunamayi mama maya duratteya. Now you are in the three gunas. Yeah, in the three modes. So Krishna told Uddhav, Parasvabhava karmani na prasangsati nindati sa asubrasate pumbera sattabhiniveshata. Never praise or criticize the good or bad qualities, material qualities of any person, their character or their activities. Why? Because if you do, you'll lose the thread of your own self-interest. Your own path in spiritual life will be lost. Why? Satya biniveshata, because now you become asatya binivesh, absorbed in asat, temporary, material, illusory, three gunas. Like that. Every moment that you think of another person's faults, qualities, bad qualities, or speak about them, then each second of your life is ticking away. And lost. Gelo yedi vasana asibaya. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, those days which have gone will never come back. Oh Krishna, now my life is almost over. What will I do now? Oh Krishna, and now I am 60 years old. What will I do? So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, don't criticize it. If you speak ill of someone, all their bad qualities, when you criticize them, you build a bridge between your heart and their heart, and then all their bad qualities come marching over the bridge, and before you know it, what you're saying about them, you are doing yourself. Why do that? It's like taking a pea on an electric wire. What will happen? The wire will not be harmed, but some problem will come to you. So don't touch that electricity. The faults of others. Don't touch it. Don't think about it. Because it won't, you'll be zapped by that. All those qualities will come. Bhishmadev has said that when you criticize a person, then whatever you are criticizing them for, the karma for that will come to you. If what you say is true, and if what you're telling about that person is false, then double the karma will come to you. So, this mood of respecting everyone, not criticizing anyone, why do we do this? This is not just to be nice. This is to not be in Maya. Consider it very, very carefully. Very carefully. We have this mentality to find fault, to look for the dosh. the defect in others. But this means now I am in illusion. In Bhagavad Gita, in chapter 5, there Krishna said, Na katritvam, na karmani. Krishna is saying, Lokasya srijati prabhu, na kama phala samyogam, svabhavastu pravartate. It's a very important verse. It's a little profound, it's a little difficult to understand. I remember when I was a young devotee, I read this 1,000 times, I couldn't understand it. Fortunately, by the mercy of Gurudev and Vaishnavas, now I have some theoretical understanding of this. Krishna is saying, Na katritvam, na karmani, lokasya srijati prabhu. Prabhu, that is God, Supreme Lord Krishna, He does not create katritva. That means the ego, the tendency coming from the ego to do activities in this world. That is called katritva. The instigation to act. So God Himself does not instigate the living beings to act in a particular way. Right? Na katritvam na karmani. The Supreme Lord does not create also the activities. He does not instigate them. He does not create the activities. Na kama phala samyogam. And the Supreme Lord does not bring the living entity also in, does not create the fruit of their action and bring the living entity in contact with the fruit of action. So there are three things: instigating your activities, performing the activities, and then getting the reaction of the activities. So Prabhu, that is Krishna, he is not doing this. Now, Baladeva Debhushan, Srila Baladeva Debhushan, Gaudiya Vedanta Acharya, and Srila Vishnacharya Thakur, they have commented slightly different on this verse. One says Prabhu means Krishna, and another tells Prabhu means the Jiva himself. So both interpretations are there. The reason is, in the previous verse, Krishna said that the living entity who is master of his senses lives peacefully in the city of 9 gates. Right? So this body is a city of 9 gates, because there are 9 entrances into the body. So the living entity is like a king living in the city peacefully when his senses are under control. And that is why Srila Vishnacharya Thakur, he's saying here the word Prabhu is referring to the Jiva, because he became master of his senses and master of that city. So both interpretations are there. Prabhu in this verse, it can mean the Jiva, or it can mean Krishna. So the translation, when we take it to mean Krishna, we already discussed. Krishna does not instigate your activities. He does not create the activities themselves, and he does not bring about the union with the fruit of the activity. Or we can say that the Jiva also, the soul, is not instigating activities, creating his activities, or bringing about his union with the result of activities. So now we have a problem. There's a big problem, because by our eyes, when we look at the world and we see everything going on, we think this person is doing this person is doing that. And we blame them. But Krishna is saying no. The Jiva is like sleeping. He's in sleeping state. The Jiva is not instigating the activities, performing the activities, or arranging the result. And then, well, what about God? Sometimes something happens in a person's life and they say, God, why did you do this to me? Like this. So somehow or other we always want to point the finger that, oh, this person is doing this person, oh, God is doing it. But in this verse of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying, no, it's not a fact. Jiva is not responsible, God is also not responsible. So then the question comes, who's responsible? We have to find someone responsible, right? And hold them responsible and give them a piece of our mind.
Senses in contact with nature.
So he said, Svabhavastu pravartate. Svabhavastu pravartate. Means, what is making everything going on is called Svabhav. Swabhav is a technical term in Vedanta. It means that the foundation of your subtle body. Your subtle body has 4 parts. Manas, mind, it's accepting and rejecting. Sankalpa, vikalpa. Buddhi, intelligence. So the buddhi does the functions of memory, and that is the smriti, vikalpa, imagination, praman, identifying objects, nidra, going to sleep, like this, and praman, nidra, smriti, vikalpa, viparyaya. These are the functions of buddhi. So if your buddhi is functioning, and it will make order out of what's going on inside your head, in your thoughts. Some of your thoughts are memories, some of your thoughts are your creativity, your imagination, some of your thoughts are identifying objects really in the world, like that. If your intelligence is disturbed, then you go crazy, because you can't discriminate between what is real and what is imagination, what is a memory and whether it really happened or it didn't, and then you become crazy. Like so, when your buddhi is functioning, all your thoughts are in order. So there's manas, buddhi, then ahankar. Ahankar means ego. And last element in the subtle body is called chitta. Chitta. It's the mahatattva, the element of mahatattva from the universe. The part of that which is in your subtle body is called chitta. So that chitta, that is your subconscious mind. Subconscious mind. And it is filled with samskars, impressions. Every moment your cameras are rolling. Like your smartphone is filming everything. But you have 2 cameras here, and your ears, nose, all senses are taking in information all the time, and everything is being recorded and kept as samskars, impressions in your chitta. And those impressions you have from this life, from previous lives, and from thousands and thousands of lives going back to when? Anadi. Anadikal. No beginning. No beginning. Krishna Boli say Jeev, Anadir Bahimukha. The living entity his consciousness has been looking away from Krishna from time with no beginning. So, because the sanskars in our subtle mind, in our subtle body, in chitta, they are coming into our conscious mind one by one, gradually, every day. And so when an impression from the subconscious mind, from the chitta, comes in manas, into the conscious mind, then we are thinking, I just had an idea. You wake up in the morning, what will I do today? Okay, I'm going to go to the cinema. Yeah? But actually, this was a samskar, an impression from before, like an echo of the past, from the subconscious mind, came in the conscious mind, it appeared there, but because we think, I am this mind, now we're very proud and I just had a very good idea. Yeah? We are thinking we are independent and we're making all our decisions in real time, but we are like a bull with a ring through the nose just being dragged around. Like that. But because of the darkness of our chitta is dark. So these impressions, these echoes are coming one by one, and we think, now I am choosing, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I am free. Liberty, freedom. But everyone is like a bull with the rings through the nose. They're completely bound by their karma. You see? So Krishna is saying, all these activities, everything which is going on, is coming from swabhav. Swabhav means the conglomerate, the totality of samskars which are lodged in the chitta of each living being. And as they're coming into their mind, so they're going along like that. Like the flow of a river is going on, each soul is just flowing along swabhav as to pravartate. Pravartate means like the flow. The flow of activities is coming from the samskars, impressions in the chitta. And those impressions, they have no beginning. So the living being is not responsible for those, ultimately, for those impressions, because they have no beginning. So that which has no beginning has no cause, no first point. So, if every single person in the world is under the control of their anadi sanskars, and they're not responsible for, there was no first point, then who is responsible? Where is the fault? No fault at all. So Vaishnavas, they don't criticize anyone. They feel compassion for them. That's the difference. The Vaishnavas see, here is a soul who is in the flow of anadi karma. No need to criticize him, no need to blame him. Have to help him. Because he's in that flow. Why? Because anadir bahimukh. His consciousness is turned away from Krishna. From time with no beginning. So we have to turn the consciousness back towards Krishna. Now no one can do that by themselves. It's impossible. You can take your own pulse and see if you are bahimukh, that means turned away from Krishna, or Krishnamukh, turned towards Krishna. When you wake up in the morning, then how do you feel? What do you think? Need a coffee? I'm gonna, whatever, go on Facebook, whatever it is. What is coming in the mind? Then you see a picture of, oh yeah, Krishna. God, that person, Krishna. I have to chant. Where did I put my mala? So, that is called Bahimukata. That somehow or other we remember Krishna now and then, but basically our consciousness is looking in another direction. So, how will the living being, how will his consciousness be turned that his heart is facing Krishna? Always. Avichinna Thaila Daravat. Sri Rupa Goswami Padi said, Anyabhlasta Sunyam Jnana Kamattanavatam Anukulyena Krishna Anushilanam. Anu means Nirantaryamai. All the activities of the body, mind and words. Just like if you pour honey from a jar, it comes out, not like water splashing here and there. The honey in the jar comes out in a thick stream. Unbroken. Yeah, unbroken. So, when our thoughts, our words, our activities are all in a thick, unbroken stream of favorable service to Krishna, that is called bhakti, uttama bhakti. Now we are not a bahimukh. So how will that stage come? Only by sadhu sangha. So Srī Caitanya Mahāprabhu is teaching 5 practices of bhakti are extremely powerful. The first one is sadhu sangha. Janasya krishnad vimukasya daivat adharma shilasya sudukitasya anugrahaya charantinunam bhutani bhavyani janardanasya. Here Vidura is speaking to Maitreya in the 3rd canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. He's saying, the living entities in this world, sudukitasya, they are very sad. They are suffering so many difficult conditions. And they are Janasya Krishnad Vimukha, they are Krishna Vimukh, Bahimukh. Their consciousness is turned away from Krishna. Why? Daivat. Here Daivat means Anadi Sanskar. Due to their endless impressions, they are just involved in the world all the time. How can they be changed? Anugrahaya charantinunam bhutani babhyani janadanasya. There are certain persons who have a sambandha, a loving relation with Janardan Sri Krishna. And anugrahaya charantinunam, charanti means they are wandering across the surface of the earth. This is in the present tense. Some persons sometimes say, there's no sadhus in the world now. Some people think like this. There used to be sadhus, but not now. But in Srimad Bhagavatam's Charantinuna, they are wandering across the surface of the earth. They will always be. Why? Because the purpose of this world is to give a chance for the jivas to develop praying for Krishna. So if there's no sadhu in the universe, no need of the universe. Krishna would not even create the universe without the sadhus being there. Because he creates it for the sadhus, for them to wonder and bestow mercy upon the jivas. So, such Vaishnavas, they're always there in this world. If we can have relation, if we can have Sangha, association with them, then our Bahimukata, it can be completely removed. So, Gora Vichar, Gora Achar, we have to follow. In relation to Sadhu Sangha, what did Caitanya Mahaprabhu say? Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Sastikoi, Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi. All the scriptures are stressing this point, the association of sadhus. Why? Because there's something very special in this. When Caitanya Mahaprabhu was giving teachings to Srila Sanatana Goswami, Sadhu Sangha saying this, he gave an example from Srimad Bhagavatam. It was a verse, was spoken by Muchukunda Maharaj. He was offering his prayers to Sri Krishna. After Muchukunda had killed Kalayavan, then he was praying to Sri Krishna. And he said, Bhavapavago Brahmato Yada Bhavets Janasya Tahyachuta Satsamagama Satsangamo Yahi Tadaiva Satgato Paravareshe Tvai Jayate Rati. It's a very beautiful verse. I remember the day when my Gurudev told me, you must learn this verse. Staying in this very small apartment in Singapore, I remember. And he said, do you know? Bhava Bhavago Janato Yada. You must learn it. It means Bhava Bhavago. There is the Bhava Apavaga. Bhava means material existence. A living entity, when he is apavaga, becoming free, liberated from material existence, then Tadaiva Sadgato, at that time, then he gets sadhu sangha, and by that sadhu sangha, love for Krishna awakens in his heart. So, it's a strange thing. Srimad Bhagavatam is saying, when first you are liberated, then you get sadhu sangha, and then you get love for Krishna. Now someone's going to say, wait a minute. You have to be liberated first, then you have sadhu sangha. I thought you have sadhu sangha first, by sadhu sangha you get liberated. Okay? So this is poetry. In Sanskrit poetry, there's one alankar, one figure of speech. It's called Atishayokti alankar. It's a kind of exaggeration. When cause and effect are exchanged, they are swapped over in the description in order to emphasize how the certainty, the absolute certainty of a cause producing an effect in the most effective way. For example, a poet, he may write that the villain fell to the ground dead and the hero drew his sword. Now what really happened? Actually the hero drew his sword and then the villain fell to the ground dead. But the poet says it the other way around, using Atishayokti Alankar to show how it was so fast, it was so effective, that it was almost instantaneous. So in the same way, Srimad Bhagavatam is telling us that the power of sadhu sangha, it is so powerful, it is so effective, that you must very soon be liberated if you associate with the sadhu, and then you will attain love for Sri Krishna. Paravare she tvai jayate rati. Then they get love for you. Now, how does this happen? It's very important. In this verse he's saying, Tadaiva sadgato. Sadgato means a spurti of Krishna. Spurti of Krishna. Spurti means a bursting, a vision. When our heart, the chitta, is cleansed a little bit. Mahaprabhu said, Chaito Darpana Marjanam. When the chitta is a little cleansed from chanting the holy name, then when you come in the association of a sadhu, and the sadhu is speaking Harikatha, at that time, by the power of his association and the power of his words, you get a glimpse, a vision for a moment in your heart of the lotus feet of Krishna. Then that's called Spurti. Sadgato here means spurti. So once you have that experience, then that's it. Now I'm a devotee now. Now you become Vaishnava, actually. And then that spurti becomes clearer and clearer, and gradually, Pravreshe Twai Jayate Rati Jayate Rati means by that association you get Rati Bhav, your eternal relationship with Krishna. So, the meaning here is that when the chitta becomes more clean like a mirror, when we're listening to Harikatha, when we're listening to the kirtan of Krishna's name, then the bhav, the ecstatic love which is in the heart of that devotee, then it's reflected into our heart. That's how we attain bhav. That's how we become established in our loving relationship with Krishna. So associating again and again with sadhus, they give us this spurti, some realization, and gradually it becomes clearer and clearer, and then the ecstatic love for Krishna is reflected to us, and we attain our fruit of our sadhana. That is the bhav. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught this to Srila Sanatana Goswami. That is Gora Vichar. And Gora Achar, he lived it in his life also, in his own life, When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was young teenager, he was Nimai Pandit. He was just a scholar. He was into Nyay, Navan Nyay logic, and Vyakaranam, Sanskrit grammar, and quarreling with everyone about these things. And he was quite puffed up fellow. But at that time, one Vaishnava came to Navadvip Dham. His name was Srila Ishwarapuri. So Srila Ishwarapuri, he had written a poem called Krishna Lilamrita. And he was giving class on his own poetry every day in the house of Gopinath Acharya. So at that time, Gadadhar Pandit from birth, he was a great Vaishnava. He was going to class every day with Ishwarapuri there. And Nimai Pandit, he thought, let me go also. So Nimai Pandit, he was going and he was listening to the class of Srila Ishwarapuri. At that time, Ishwarapuri knew, this Nimai, he's a great scholar of Sanskrit grammar. So maybe he should check my poem, he should proofread it to make sure I didn't make any mistakes. So the Ishwarapuri gave him, he said, you can check it for some mistakes. But Nimai Pandit, he said, Murko Dhiro Vadati Vishnave, Murko Vadati Vishnaya, Dhiro Vadati Vishnave, Ubayatu Samam Punyam, Bhavagrahi Janardana. It means that if someone knows Sanskrit grammar, when they make an offering to Vishnu, what do they say? Vishnave, unto Vishnu. But a murka, a foolish person who doesn't know any Sanskrit grammar, they think, when you offer to Krishna, you say Krishnaya. When you offer to Govinda, you say Govindaya. So when you offer to Vishnu, then you say Vishnaya. But the grammar is not like that, because Vishnu ends with U, not in an A. So Mahaprabhu said, the person who doesn't know Sanskrit grammar, instead of saying Vishnave Namaha, he'll say Vishnaya Namaha. However, Ubayotu Samam Punyam, both of them, they get the same benefit, whether they say the mantra correctly or they say it incorrectly. Why? Bhavagrahi Janardana. Because Krishna is Bhavagrahi. He only accepts your bhav, your mood. Krishna never looks whether you're rich or poor, young or old, educated or not educated. He never looks at any of your material qualities, good or bad. Krishna is only interested in your love. So if a person has some affection, then Krishna sees that even if they say all the mantras wrong. He doesn't care. He's Bhavagrahi Janardana. He's the Janardana who just accepts bhav, the sentiments of his devotee. So, Nimai Pandit said, you cannot make any mistake, because you have a love for Krishna. Our Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, he used to say, if someone doesn't have love for Krishna, if they quote the verse correctly with the chapter and the verse number and the page number, everything perfectly, but they're still wrong. They're still wrong. Because what they said never pleased Krishna because they don't have any love for him. Huh? And if a pure devotee quotes the verse wrong, mixes up some words or something, he's still right. Right? Because what is right and what is wrong? Right is loving Krishna and wrong is not loving him. This is the thing. So for several months, Nimai Pandit was going and he was listening to the class of Srila Ishwarapuri. But he's just listening and appreciating. But later when his father, Jagannath Mishra, passed away, then he travelled from Navadvip and he went to Gaya to do Pinda for his father. And when he arrived there, again, by good fortune, he saw that Srila Ishwarapuri was there. So this time, Nimai Pandit, by that association, gradually, he changed. And this time, when he met Srila Ishwarapuri, Prabhu kohi tirth jatra shafalayama yadakshana dekailam charane tumar. He said, now my visit to the holy place is safal, successful. It became successful the very second my eyes saw your lotus feet. Huh? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has shown in his own life, why do we go to the holy place? Sadhu Sangha. Without associating with pure devotees, everything is useless. Huh? So, not only that, but after his initiation, he was completely changed. And later, when he took sannyas, he left Navadvip, he went to Jagannath Puri, stayed there very briefly, and then he set off for the tour of South India. Everyone knows that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he went to South India because he was looking for his brother. But actually that was a pretext. It was an excuse. The real reason Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left Puri and went to South India is because he heard there was a Rasik Vaishnava living on the bank of Godavari, Vishakhapatnam. There. He'd heard there was someone called Ramananda Rai. And he knew, my Gurudev explained a very beautiful point once. He said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was more humble than a blade of grass. He was Trinada peaceful. He had lobe, he had greed to serve Krishna. He had Diksha from a Mahabhagavad Vaishnava. And even he took sannyas. But though he did all of these things, his desire was still not fulfilled. And that's why he went in search. I need Braj Rasik Vaishnav Sangha. So what are we discussing here? Gora Vichar. What is Mahaprabhu's philosophy? What did he teach? And now Gora Achar. What did he show by his life's example? Even though he went through so much and he was so qualified, but still his ultimate desire to realize Radhabhav was not fulfilled. So he went in search of a Braj of Rasik Vaishnava to hear from him, and then his desire could be fulfilled. So Shastra says, Janana Maranadi Samsara Anala Santapta Dipta Shirsha Jala Rashimiva. The meaning is that for a person who is in this world of birth and death, which is like a fire, then you should run at once. Don't delay. To find sadhu. How? Just like Santapta Dipta Shirsha Jala Rashimiva means just like a person whose hair is on fire. Can you imagine? Your seeker's on fire. Then what do? You run to find some water very fast. If your seeker's on fire, you won't sit there and say, I'll go next Kartik to Vrindavan. Right? No. If your hair is on fire, at once you go. Like this. So Mahaprabhu showed by his teaching and in his life the importance of Sadhu Sangha. So Sadhu Sangha, Nama Kirtan. Nam Kirtan. When Mahaprabhu was in Navadvip, whole night he used to go to the house of Srivas Thakur and he used to do Harinam Sankirtan all night. And Mahaprabhu's teaching, that's his acharya, his vichar, his teaching on Nam is very unique. Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur, he said, Prema Nama Bhuta Ta Sravana Patakata Kassa Namna Mahimna Koveta Kasya Brindava Vipina Mahamadhurisha Pravesha Kova Jana Tiradam Paramarasam Chamatkara Madhurya Singham Ekas Chaitanya Chandraha Paramakarunaya Savamavis Chakaraha. Only Srī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, no one else, came to this world and discovered and revealed the glories of Prem Nam Sankirtan. I tell you frankly, there are so many different sampradayas, Vaishnava sampradayas even, and they also chant the holy name. But actually their kirtan and our kirtan following Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is quite different. The reason is this. They make a temple, they have a deity, and they sing kirtan. Their kirtan is one aspect of their archant to the deity. Because the angas of bhakti, they can be one thing, or they can be a complex of many different practices. For example, one anga of bhakti is, if you see the deity going on procession, you follow him. So that's just one activity. But some angas of bhakti are a complex of many activities, like archan. Archan is putting on tilak is archan, remembering Gayatri Mantra is archan, cooking for the deity is archan, dressing the deity, everything. So, in that archan, one aspect is doing kirtan, singing for the deity. So it's a sub-limb of the anga of bhakti called archan. But Srī Caitanya Mahāprabhu said, Nava Vida Bhakti Purna Nama Hoite Hoi. All the angas of bhakti, every single one of them, is performed completely simply by chanting the holy names. Mahaprabhu's teaching is very specific on this. When his guru gave him initiation, Mahaprabhu, he began to chant the holy names and he became mad in separation. He was crying, singing, dancing, rolling on the ground. He went back to his Gurudev. He said, "Oh Gurudev, Kiba mantra diligo sai, kiba tarbal, jopite japite mantra koile pagal." Gurudev, what kind of mantra did you give me? I was repeating it and now I became cuckoo. Pagal. I became crazy. What's going on? His Gurudev said, "You are very lucky. Very fortunate. And I am fortunate to have a disciple like you. Don't worry. Krishna Nama Maha Mantra Eito Swabhav Jai Jape Jai Jape Tare Krishna Upajai Bhav." He said, "My dear boy, this is the nature of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Those who repeat this mantra, then ecstatic emotions rise up in their heart." So then he became satisfied. And Mahaprabhu himself, he taught, he said, "Ekanama basa tomar papa dosa jabe, arnama loite Krishna charna paibe." If you chant one Nam Abbas, one semblance, not pure name, only one Nam Abbas, then all your pap, all your sins are destroyed. That's the effect of the first name. Huh? You just tell one name, Krishna, all your pap is destroyed, first name. And second name, Arnama Loite, Krishna Charna Paibe. Then the next time you chant, you attain the lotus feet of Krishna. They become your property. This is Mahaprabhu's teaching about the power of the holy name. It's experienced by those who don't commit aparads. Aparads to Vaishnavas, to the deity, those who don't commit aparad, they can experience this. The destruction of all sins with one name, and then the attainment of Krishna's lotus feet with the other. Otherwise, those who have some history in this life and previous life of aparads, they go through the stages of bhakti, shraddha, sadhu sangha, bhajana, kriya, natanavritti. These are the gradual stages of clearing of the effects of aparads, clearing of anartha, leading to prem. But actually the name is so powerful, it gives prem just like that. Otherwise, if there's offense present, then only those stages are coming. So, Srī Caitanya Mahāprabhu said, "Taramadye sarvasesta nama sankirtan, niraparad nam lali pai premadam." Out of all the practices of bhakti, Harinam Sankirtan is best. And if you chant without offense, at once you'll attain Krishna prem. Nishta hoil upajoy prema taranga. So, Mahaprabhu, by his teaching, he emphasized Harinam Sankirtan. And also in his life. What can we say about his life? You know, the moment Nimai Pandit, our Vishwambar Mishra, was born, that's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's passport name, Vishwambar Mishra. Vishwambar, the son of Jagannath Mishra. So, the moment he was born, it was a lunar eclipse. Right? So in India, people know that if you go out at the time of the lunar eclipse, then Rahu will steal all your punya, will steal all your piety, all your good karma. So people are afraid of the inauspicious action of the lunar eclipse. So when there's a lunar eclipse, they protect themselves, so they go in the Ganga, they submerge themselves in the Ganga, and they chant Haribol, Haribol, Haribol. So from the very moment Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, he caused the whole world to chant the holy name. And then even being a little baby, he was crying all the time. And then someone chanted Hare Krishna, and he stopped crying. They noticed, oh, this baby stops crying when you chant Hare Krishna. So like this, and if they stopped chanting, then the baby would cry again, then everyone had to Hare Krishna, to stop the baby from crying. So from the very beginning of his life, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was inspiring everyone chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
What to speak of from the beginning of his life? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was inspiring people to chant Hare Krishna before he appeared even. Did you know?
No.
Yeah, yes. Let me tell you one pastime of Gaura Lila. Very instructive and very beautiful. So perhaps you know that Nimai Pandit, he used to go every evening to the house of Srivas Thakur, and he was absorbed in his pastimes as a devotee. But at a certain point, he wanted to reveal to the world that actually he was Krishna himself. So one evening, in the house, in the courtyard of Srivas Angam, Srivas Thakur, all devotees were there doing kirtan. And Mahaprabhu became so shiny, such golden effulgence, that the whole courtyard of Srivas Thakur, it looked like Ilavrita. You know Ilavrita? Ilavrita is next to Mount Meru, Golden Mountain. And when the sun rises, it reflects, and the whole of Ilavrita becomes bathed in golden light. So the whole Shiva Sangha became bathed in the golden light of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he became completely absorbed in ecstasy. And he went up to the altar of Srivas Thakur, where manifesting the ecstasy and revealing that he was the Supreme Lord to all the devotees. When the devotees saw this, they were astonished, they were weeping, they were rolling on the ground. Ah, my next door neighbor, Nimai Pandit, is Supreme Lord Krishna. And he's revealed himself, sitting on my altar. Srivas Thakur was saying, oh, he told his brother, Sri Ram Pandit, bring water for Abhishek. He told Mukunda, oh Mukunda, bring the paraphernalia for the puja. Gadada Pandit, bring some garlands and some change of clothes. And the ladies of the house, they were running to the Ganges and they were bringing pots and everything. And they arranged to do the Abhishek of Mahaprabhu. So then the devotees, they were pouring the water on Mahaprabhu, and his Charanamrita was flowing everywhere, while other devotees were chanting Purusha Shukta. Sahasra Shisha Purusha Sahasrakshas Sahasrapati Sabhumin Vishito Vritta Atyatistat Starangalam Purusha Evedagam Sarvam Yadbhutam Yatschabhavyam Utamritatpaseshana Yadannena Tirohati. Beautiful Vedic mantras were being sung, and all devotees, they were having darshan of Nimai Pandit. He was showing, I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When the Abhishek was over, they dried him, they gave him fresh cloth, fresh garlands. His eyes were closed, and then finally he opened his beautiful lotus eyes. His eyes were like lotuses with the honey coming out. That's the honey of his mercy
Sorry.
on the devotees. And all the devotees fell down and gave Dandavat Pranam at his feet, and he was keeping his lotus feet on their heads. And he was blessing them. Then he said, "Oh Advaita Acharya, I came to this world. Why? Because I was brought here by your sweet, humble prayers. I could not resist." Jeha nilo premadana Koruna praju Heno Prabhu Kotagela Advaita Acharya Thakur. Advaita Acharya brought the treasure of Prem to this world in the form of Mahaprabhu by his very sweet and humble prayers. Mahaprabhu said this. But Advaita Acharya, he said, "My Lord, I am an insignificant and foolish person. I don't know anything. And who are you?" Then Advaita Acharya quoted one verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. He said, "My Lord, Uddhava said, Eita param tanubrito bhuvi gopavadvo Govinda eva nikilatmatu ruda bhava Vanchanti yad bhava biyo muniyo vayamcha Kim brahma jamma bir ananta katara sasya." Uddhavji said, of all the living entities in the universe, only those who have taken birth as cowherd girls, as gopis in Vrindavan, their life is successful. Only their life is fully successful. Why? Govindameva Nikalatmani Ruda Bhava. Even though Sri Krishna is the Nikalatma, is the source of Paramatma. Paramatma Ekam Shaina Stito Jagat. The Paramatma is only a tiny spark of the splendor of Sri Krishna. But those gopis of Vrindavan, they have Ruda Bhava for him, natural love. But he's my boyfriend. He's my secret beloved. Vantanti yad bhava biyo muniyo vayamcha. All the sages, the rishis, Uddhav says, myself, even Shukadev Goswami, Vyasadev, Narad Muni, we all want to love like those gopis. But alas, alas, we are not qualified to have a love like them. Kim Brahma Janma Bir Ananta Katara Sasya. If a person has taste in hearing about the love of the gopis of Vrindavan, then what is the use for them of taking birth as Lord Brahma, the highest person in the universe? No need. And Anantirkata Arasasya, if you don't have taste in hearing the glories of the gopis of Vrindavan, if you take birth as Lord Brahma, then what's the point? You're all useless. Why? Because if you have taste in hearing the glories of the love of the gopis of Vrindavan for Sri Krishna, especially Srimati Radhika, then that taste is a bij, it's a seed. It will grow, it will become Mahabhava, and you'll be one of those gopis one day. So, Advaita Acharya said, my Lord, you have come into this world, and with your cupped hands, cupping your hands, you are drinking deeply of the beautiful sweet nectar of the gopis' love of Vrindavan. And all I want to do is figure out, when some drops fall through your fingers, how to catch it. This is my position. Advaita Acharya was speaking like this. So then, Mahaprabhu, he was giving benedictions to different devotees. And he turned to Srivas Thakur. He said, "Hey Srivas, do you remember when with my hand I stopped your pran from leaving your body?" Srivas Thakur thought for a moment, then he realized, yes, I remember. Now, no one knew, what is this? That Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stopped the Srivas Thakur from dying? No one knew this. They all became amazed. Mahaprabhu said, Srivas Thakur, if you remember, tell everyone. So then Srivas Thakur turned to the devotees. He said, I have to admit, when I was young, when I was 16 years old, I was a wild person. I was sinful. I was arrogant. I was offensive to Guru and the Brahmanas. I thought I was so intelligent, my mind was awash with the waves of many different contentious theories, philosophical ideas. And I was completely wayward. But one day, when I was 16, at night, I was asleep. And in my dream, a person came to me and said, "Oh, you Brahmin in name only. No one can teach you anything. I know. But I have to tell you something. You have exactly 1 year to live. Don't waste it." And then that person disappeared. Srivas Thakur, he was telling everyone. Then I woke up from the dream. And I thought, oh, I'm only 16. I am going to live for 1 year till I'm 17 and die. Don't waste my time. I don't know what to do. So I went and I looked for some Shastra. And I found one book. And I picked up, what's this? Naradiya Purana. So I thought, let me open. And I opened it. And I opened it. And I opened it on one verse. And I read the verse. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nameva Kevalam, Kalo Nasteva 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 Gatiranyata. In this age of Kali, there is no other way. There is no other way. There is no other way of deliverance than the chanting of the holy name, the chanting of Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Then I thought, oh, God is speaking to me through the Shastra. I must follow this. So then I never told anyone. I never told anything to anyone about this. But I just, 10 months, 3 months, 2 months, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama. 1 week, 2 days, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. I left all my foolish activities, all sinful activities, all nonsense, everything. And I was just day and night, I was just chanting. And on the last day, then I thought, I need sadhu sangha. And I heard that someone was giving Bhagavatam class. Devananda Pandit was giving a Bhagavatam class at his house. So I thought, it's my last day, I should go. So then I went, there were many people there, it was very full. So I was on one balcony on the first floor, and I was listening to the Srimad Bhagavatam. He was telling the glories of Prahlad Maharaj. So I was there, I was chanting. Then I came and I was listening to Srimad Bhagavatam, and the last moment of my life came. And I stopped breathing. I was dead. And I fell from the balcony on the first floor, down into the courtyard. But then, someone came to me and put his hand on my chest. Said, "Get up." And then at once I opened my eyes. That person again disappeared. And there was a crowd of people around me. But from that moment, I was never the same. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "Srivas, that person who came in your dream, it was me. And that person who put his hand on your chest and stopped your prans from leaving, that was me. I gave you new life." And from that moment, the Avesh of Narad Muni entered into that wayward boy. He became the great Srivas Thakur, you know. So now his bhav was exactly like Narad Muni from that moment. Advaita Acharya, when he heard this, he was amazed. He said, "My Lord, you have proven true the statement of the Shastra. Matyo yada chakta samasta karma niveditatma vichitirsato me tadamritatvam pratipadyamana mayatma bhuyaya chakalpate vai Krishna has said, if a person Chakta samasta karma, they give up all karmic activities. And Niveditatma, they offer themselves to Krishna. Then Vichikirsa Tome, Krishna says, from that moment, then I want to make that person special and I send invisibly their spiritual body. And as they engage in bhakti, Chakshusha Chakshuruta Sotasya Srotram. That means as they're chanting and they begin to see Krishna and His qualities, because Krishna is the eye of your eye, Krishna is the ear of your ear. When you begin to see Krishna, then your spiritual eyes of your spiritual body open. When you begin to hear Krishna, your spiritual ears open. So in other words, concomitant with the gradual realization of Krishna Nam Rup Gun Lila is realization of your Nam Rup Gun Lila also. Your name, your spiritual body, everything, it awakens along with the realization of Krishna, and you get your eternal spiritual body. So Advaita Acharya said, "Oh my Lord, you have shown the world this fact, that those who serve you, they get a beautiful new spiritual form." So, by this pastime, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will illustrate, not that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu only made everyone chant from the moment he was born when he was a baby, but even this was, Srivas Thakur was about 30 years older than Mahaprabhu. This happened when he was 16. So even before Mahaprabhu came in this world, he was already inspiring great devotees like Srivas Thakur to chant Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
So Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagavat Sravan. Now it's become quite late. So tomorrow we'll explain how Srī Caitanya Mahāprabhu taught about the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. Nitai Gaur Premanande.
Hare 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 Hare.
So sing one kirtan. Can we sing one kirtan? Or you're very hungry?
No, kirtan.
Okay, then we'll sing one kirtan and then serve Mahaprasad. Now Guni is here. Playing this thing. So everyone was sitting for a long time. Stand up and dance. Bale Vrindavan Bellal ki jai, Bale Sanwari ki jai, Vishwabanu Rajkumari Ju ki jai, Jai Jai Shri Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.